Hi there. In this video, we're going to be talking about polyrhythms on guitar and vocals. If you don't know what a polyrhythm is, there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube and the rest of the internets about what they are and how to do them accurately. This video won't be focused on that. We'll assume that you have at least some basic knowledge of what a polyrhythm is. Instead, we're going to focus on how to incorporate polyrhythms into your music using only a single instrument. So the first concept that we're going to talk about is taking a simple chord structure, then using alternate picking to create a polyrhythm. In this case, we're going to be taking just a few chords, A with root and a fifth, and then F with a root and a fifth. Easy power chords. Then what we're going to do to create a polyrhythm is our downstroke will hit the root 3 times per measure, and then our upstroke will hit the fifth 4 times per measure, making a 3-4 polyrhythm, or a 4-3 polyrhythm, depending on how you view it. So here goes. 1, 2, 3. Now you'll notice that at the beginning of each measure, the 3s and the 4s line up, so they get hit on the same beat. Before, I said that we were going to do downstrokes 3 times per measure and upstrokes 4 times per measure. But it's not actually possible to do a downstroke and an upstroke at the same time. So instead, what I've been doing is just downstroking through both strings. So once more. Awesome. So, the second concept that we're going to talk about is polyrhythms using tapping, where one hand will play one part of the polyrhythm, and the other hand plays the other. Intuitively, it's pretty simple, but it can be a little tricky to coordinate it. So, in this example, the left hand will be playing 5 evenly spaced notes per measure, and the right hand will be playing 4 evenly spaced notes per measure. Again, not terribly difficult to imagine conceptually, though it can be a little tricky to actually incorporate it correctly. If you're having trouble with this kind of stuff, as I said before, you can just go on YouTube and try to find some tutorials. I also found tablature software to be extremely helpful. I use Guitar Pro. I know there are other pieces of software out there, such as Power Tabs. And you just plug in the notes and just slow it down, break it into chunks, do whatever you gotta do. But having the computer there is extremely helpful because if you don't have any timing assistance of any kind, like a metronome or whatever, then you can lead yourself to believe that you are subdividing things correctly when you're actually not. But when you have a computer doing it for you, you can be 100% certain that you're hitting everything at exactly the right time. So lastly, we're going to talk about how you can possibly incorporate a 3-way polyrhythm into your music. I realize humans only have 2 hands, so the way that I've gone about doing this is to have one hand do one part of the polyrhythm, other hand do the other part of the polyrhythm, and vocals on the third part. So we're going to take the same example as before and just add a little bit of complexity to it. So left hand does 5 notes per measure, right hand does 4 notes per measure, and vocals will do 3 notes per measure, all evenly spaced.